All right. There we go. Okay, good. I'm so good at technology. We're live. All right, good morning. Today we are going to be painting this beautiful Believe ornament out of our paintings catalog. And we're just going to go step by step through it. I'm going to teach it later my in-person classes here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. But if you want to follow along, we're going to go step by step. And feel free to pause if I'm moving too quickly. I forgot my little stander-uppery ring light thing, so you're literally propped up today. So here we go. All right, we've got our canvas, we've got our cup of coffee, and here we go. I have a set of brushes. These two are called Brights. I give them other names because it makes me happy. And then I have a larger and a smaller round brush as well. You can use whatever brushes make you happy. I have a cup of water, and then I have some various acrylic paints. I pass out a lot of paint, so I have a condiment dispenser. You don't have to. All right. So I'm just using a paper plate as my paint palette. Lots of people use different things for their paint palettes to outline our ornament shape. I'm going to do that by grabbing my larger round brush. This is, let me look through the paint to see the size of it. Can't see the size of it. It's this size. It's professional right there. Okay, so we're going to run our finger about halfway down the canvas, and then we're going to go about halfway over, a little bit more, and we're going to make a little dot right here. That's going to be the top of where our ornament is. Now we're going to go down to the bottom. We are going to make a little dot right down here. Just, oh, hold on. My phone's telling me things, but I don't want to learn more. We'll figure that out later. All right. We are now going to make a couple more dots. I'm going to make 4 of them, so I make almost a little box here, okay? So they don't have to be perfect, they don't have to be exact, but we just want to make a little box here. And then we're going to do something I like to do. If you have a circle that's the right size and you want to trace it with something, you can, but this is a really nice way to make a circle shape, because they can be tricky if you're not tracing. So we do it like a clock kind of thing. Once we have that, we're going to trace out our rough shape here. And we're just doing this. You could do the whole background first and then paint it white, but we're going to do this in a one session version. So if you're going to sit down and do this over a long, and then do your ornament, but we're not doing that today. All right. So I'm going to have a little black. Mars black, any kind of black is good for this. And then I have a nice white paint. Titanium white is popular, but use any color white paint that makes you happy. Take my large bright brush. I call him The Rock, like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. This is I've painted over all the numbers on my brushes, you guys. I don't even know what size I'm using anymore. Oh well, it's this size. Okay, so I'm going to take my large brush. I'm going to take white over the whole thing, the corner, and the black paint, okay? So I have white, and the lighting is garbage, isn't it? I'm so sorry. All right, here we go. We are just going to do a nice sort of blended background. So I'm just kind of smooshing this darker color on. I'm gonna wipe my brush off on my paper towel and I'm gonna pick up more white. Now you can water and go over the whole thing ahead of time. It's early for me today. I don't know what time of day right now, but it's early for me. Every once in a while, we're gonna like put your moderation hat on. We're gonna take a tiny, tiny bit of yellow, so small. We're just gonna feather that in just a little bit. That's just gonna warm this background up a little bit, okay? We're gonna do this all the way across, avoiding our red circle. Putting a little water on my canvas to help it blend, like I mentioned before. I'm just kind of gently going around our red circle here. And I'm just going to do this nice combination of white and gray and the tiniest bit of yellow all the way across our canvas, okay? Now, you'll notice I'm leaving some streaks. I kind of like that look. If you don't want streaks, you can blend it a little more, go a different direction. The more you go over paint, the more it's going to blend into one solid color. So if you don't want the streaks, just keep painting. I just realized I don't have any music playing. So you'll just have to play your own when you paint at home. Water is your friend for blend. Reaching over here to my cup. Acrylic paint likes water. So too much and you'll get those drips, which is great unless you don't want drips. Okay, I'm just going to take the tiniest bit of yellow and just kind of feather some of that in here. Just, you don't really consciously see it, but it just softens and lightens the background, especially for the details that we're going to add later. Some of you are really into doing texture where you have a lot of thick paint and texture, and that's okay. That's just part of your painting style. I am not doing that because so the more paint you have on your can, the longer it's going to take this acrylic paint to dry. And again, there's nothing wrong with using a lot of texture. Just know that if you blend it on this background, you may need to pause and let it dry before we get going to the details. All right, I just realized I haven't done a live. I mean, I do live painting all the time, like in real life in my studio. And I teach classes and do parties if you're interested. But I haven't done a live in so long, I realized that I forgot to tell you what colors you would need. So I'll do that while we're painting. And I will also put that in the description as well. So you are going to need black, white, red, a nice bright yellow, and then you are going to also need green, or you can use a combination of blue and yellow to mix your green. All right, so we have this sort of nice soft textured background. I'm gonna add just a few more low lights in here, just because I want a little bit more drama in the background. Who doesn't love a little background drama in your life, right? I think most of us have that anyway. If you don't, congratulations on your boundaries. We're proud of you. Got some ASMR going on here. All right, so we're gonna let a lot of this dry a second. Again, I'm doing a really thin coat of paint because I want this to really put my brush down. This next part you can do either with the tip of a brush, but we're also going to use our fingers. I put on my holiday nails yesterday. They're red, they're pretty. We're going to use our fingers to do some painting, and then also you can use a round brush as well. Sometimes it's nice to get real into the paint. Okay, well, that was the paint container. Excuse me. All right. So I'm just gonna take my nice little finger. I'm gonna dip it into the white paint, just a tiny bit on there, not a lot. And I'm gonna start creating some of the layers of these little sparklies that are gonna come through. All right, so we're gonna just have little dots. You can just touch it and then move your finger in like a little circle. And then as you go, I'm just gonna do, they'll get softer and softer as you go. Now, we're gonna wanna use yellow too. So without wiping your hand off, I'm gonna grab a little bit of yellow on here. And I am also just gonna start doing these. Now you can overlap the color if you want. We're just gonna do these all over, just to create a little bit of visual interest in the back, a little drama. And again, you wanna have some of these overlapping each other, okay? Do them in like little clumps. You can even have some coming canvas, so you think feels like you're getting kind of a snapshot of this scene. Again, you could also use a round brush and just make little circular motions. I'm just a big fan of just kind of getting into the paint sometimes. Now, if you rub your finger, if you put it down and then kind of like rub your finger in a circle, it's gonna make it look like a really soft shape versus a really